Hello friends, let's go check out the brown turkey fig tree in the backyard that has tons of fruit, some of which is ripe and ready to eat, and some that's just coming up, and I'm so excited. It's so loaded. Also, I like to do a little walk around, see if I can gather some kale seeds that were from a mature plant that I let go, what some might say too long, but if you want seeds from your own plants, you have to let them go too long in order to get those very precious seeds. So let's go take a look what I've got growing in the back, the fig trees and the kale. So I'm just out in the garden and I noticed all these figs, various stages of development. At the end of the season, I'm going to cut this back so that I keep the fruit down lower where I can get to it. And then I'm going to propagate all of the cuttings and plant trees all over the property because this is really loaded. This is a brown turkey fig. So I missed this one right there. It looks like it actually got too ripe and split. I'm going to go ahead and cut off that part and see if the rest of it is salvageable. But I see another one that looks really ripe. One of our dogs was being so bad, I had to put this garden gate here to keep them away because it was actually like chewing on my plants. But oh geez, I ripped it getting it off, but that is definitely ripe. It's soft. Oh, it looks beautiful. Let me rip it open. Look how large this fruit is. It's the size of my whole hand when I open it up. And it is delicious. The fruit is so sweet and light and crisp, and this is not pollinated. With fig trees, you actually get fruit before you get the flowers. The flowers are on the inside of the fruit, and they're pollinated by wasps, which that species of wasp does not live in Washington State, so we never have to find dead wasps inside of it. But if you do live in an area that's really warm that has those wasps there, you might find, if it's pollinated, like the dead female wasp, because she basically wiggles her way in through the hole in the bottom. When she does that, it rips off her wings. And she goes in here while she's already pregnant. She pollinates the flowers and then she lays her eggs in there. The males hatch before the females. They impregnate their sisters before they're born, and then the baby wasps leave the fig, but the female dies inside. So you'll know if it's a pollinated fig if you find a dead wasp inside of there. However, there's no dead wasp in here, so there's no point trying to save seeds in here. These are all unpollinated, and every single little tendril in there is basically a flower. This is totally delicious, and these are now so expensive. And look how big this fruit is. This is a brown turkey fig, and it's doing absolutely wonderful in Washington State. By far, any of the fig species you want to do, different varieties, I shouldn't say species, brown turkey fig hands down is the best for Washington State, and that includes the Olympia fig. Brown turkey fig is the best. I think you really need to see this fig tree from this other perspective. There's fruit all the way down to these low branches down here at the bottom. Various stages. You see there's a little tiny baby one right there. It is loaded with fruit. And I couldn't be happier. Honestly, this is amazing. I did a nice big cutback of this in the early spring, and I had a whole bucket full of propagated cuttings. They were growing leaves and roots, and they were fabulous. And the German Shepherd, Australian Shepherd puppy, 1-year-old, actually came in, tore all of them up. But I did have some in a little pitcher above where I didn't see that, so I do have those I'm propagating. And again, like I said, I'm going to do the after we harvest all this fruit, anything that's really really high or crisscrossing branches, or really, really low, I'll go ahead and prune back, and then I will have more trees. So I'm probably going to propagate them and put them all around the property, but I also probably will sell a few and give a few to friends or family who don't have fig trees yet, because everyone should have figs. In Washington State, brown turkey fig, yes, Olympia fig is good too, but I planted many varieties, and this is the only one that is going this crazy. I mean, it grows tall, I chop it back, you know, and then it grows more, and then I chop it back, and it grows more, and it's just, and it's in the ground, not in a container, but it's just doing absolutely lovely. I couldn't be happier with this variety, and they're totally delicious. Pick them, eat them right off the tree. I mean, figs are not good for storing unless you dry them or something, but they are, I'd say, like apples. My pears are not doing great, but apples, grapes, and figs and hazelnuts are probably the best and the fastest at producing fruit. Then I'd say plums. I had some kale growing here, and it's gone to seed. The birds have actually gotten most of it, but I'm going to see how much I can get from here, and I'm just going to collect it into a little container, and then I'll have seed for next year. The birds did get most of it, but I'm getting enough to actually plant right back here into this planter. What I do is I just grab the pods and I just kind of roll it with my fingers, and then the seeds drop down. If you look here, like, it basically has like a chamber in the middle. It has like the pod itself, the seed pod, is separated by this papery little husk, and on both sides it fills up with seeds. And I'm just going to put the chaff right back down. I want to just show you the seeds collecting down here. That's a lot. So I have a lot of seeds in here already. I see some bugs. I'm not going to worry about it. But I have so many seeds saved inside the house that I don't really need to put up more seed packets. I might put a few, but I'm going to put most of these back down into the ground here, and then chop all the foliage back down, compost it in place, and then I'll put the seeds on top after I put some soil. So I don't want them to be too deep. Just want to make sure that they have a good chance of making it. But you can see I definitely do have seeds in here. They drop down to the bottom because they're denser than the chaff material. And some people spend a lot of time picking the chaff out. There doesn't seem to be a point in that. It's just to make it look pretty. Now, if I'm seed saving, I would do that. But if I'm going to just plant it right back in place, there's no point in wasting my time. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back. Whole stalks of the seeds that were, it's kind of embarrassing. They're like bent down under weeds. When I pulled them out, some of the seeds got dispersed. I'll probably have a bunch of kale growing in my walkways next year, which is totally fine. I might even have some sprouting up this fall and winter. So I'm going to have plenty to plant and plenty to save for future years. Now, I'll probably have a lot of volunteers. I think I'm going to sprinkle in a few extras just to be on the safe side. And I will make sure all the chaff goes into the planter to feed the soil and so forth. But I'm going to keep working on this. I've been doing this for so long that my thumb is actually getting numb. But it's so easy. I used to take it off and like split it individually, but now I just realized you just put it between your two fingers and just roll them, and they burst. So this is full of seeds at the bottom here of this little pot. The top of it is just chaff, but the seeds fall down and they're heavier and denser than the chaff, so it's really easy to separate it later. It's kind of satisfying at the end, kind of just removing the chaff a little bit to see how much you have left underneath. Oh my gosh, look how many seeds there are. There's just so many seeds in there. This would make a good top dressing. So I might hold off to the side and just sprinkle on top of the soil. Keeps in the moisture and stuff. But there's so many seeds in here. I'm pulling back a little bit of the chaff just so you can see. Look at that. So many seeds. Be careful that you don't drop the container that you are collecting into. I've done that several times. In the beginning of this video, I might have done that also. Just a little bit. I didn't lose a lot. So I'm definitely going to have some in the walkways. But there's so many seeds in here. I have enough to save and enough to plant and enough to give away. I mean, there's just so many. That's probably why kale seeds and brassica seeds are cheaper than a lot of other varieties of plants. Look at that. So many. I'm so thrilled because I literally thought the birds had eaten most of them. Even so, that'd be okay because you pay for a bird seed, right, to feed them. All you really need is like a pinch, right? And then that's several plants. And if you have really good soil, they will be so leafy. You only need a few, unless like you're juicing your kales and stuff, which you have to be careful with kale and some other plants like spinach. You don't want to have your diet being too full of that because of the oxalates in them. It's actually not healthy to eat too much. But I don't think anybody would naturally eat more than would be healthy. Yeah, I just don't see that. But there's so many seeds in here. I'm so thrilled. Maybe I won't buy a seed packet today. So you literally just shake and the seeds fall down to the bottom. That's called winnowing. And if you have a nice gust of wind, okay, they're almost chaff free. Lots of seeds. Wow. And I'll leave this setting out, not outside, but let it sit out for like, I probably would do like 2 weeks because I'm kind of paranoid, but I'll just let it sit out, and that way any bugs are in there will escape and they'll be nice and dry before I put them into seed packets. And I probably honestly leave them more than 2 weeks, but it's your choice. And I like to put mine, I don't want to lose out the hole there. I put mine on a paper plate, and you know those little teacher organizers that have those slats for like student files or paperwork. I use those. I just put a paper plate on those, and it holds like 4 or 5, and that way it's out of the way and it's not going to get knocked over. That's the best way to do it. I'm speaking from personal experience. I've dumped seed trays everywhere, so that really is the best way. Is pick yourself up like one of those metal, heavy paperwork file things that are actually for teachers and classrooms, and then you just put your plate of seeds, 1 plate per seed type. I write with a Sharpie marker what kind it is, and then I let it dry for as long as I needed to, basically probably until I get the next batch of seeds that needs a spot, and then I package them up. I'm so excited because I just got a new toy for my garden, which is a stamper for making my own seed packets. I already make my own seed packets, but I'm so thrilled to have gotten a stamper off of Etsy. I did kind of get scammed on one where it was like they send you packets pre-stamped. They charged me $12 for like, I don't know, maybe less than 10 seed packets that were stamped with the stamper. So you want to make sure that you read the details carefully. And I did read it carefully. It was very misleading. So the stamper I bought was like $35, I think. And so it was super expensive. But since this is such a huge hobby of mine, I plan on using it all the time. It was worth it to me, but it is expensive. You can always print off your own seed packets with a template that already has that information on when you print it. You can do that free from like your local library. Just find one you like on like Google it. But I did get the stamper. I'm so excited, and I will definitely make a video making the seed packets for this. Oh my gosh, the dogs keep grabbing trash and bringing it outside, and they keep chewing on my plants. This is an elderberry, so I hope they're okay. But I'm going to go ahead and rip this off because it got chewed in half, and I'm going to put it in water. Hopefully it will root. But this actually had like 2 or 3 elderberries in here. I'll water it really good and hopefully it will come back. but I kind of neglected this area and I didn't notice. They've also chewed pieces off the side of the tub and knocked over a bunch of stuff. So it looks like a hot mess over here because things I had all orderly and organized have been pulled out by two pups, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old dog. And I'm really, really looking forward to having some kind of barrier to keep them out of here. So I'll put this in some water. I'm thrilled. I got, the fruit for the, I had a huge fig for breakfast this morning. It was just absolutely divine. Told you the story about how they're pollinated. That might gross some of you out. But again, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, the wasps that actually pollinate the figs do not live here. So you will not find little dead, you should not find little dead wasps inside of your fruit. I never have. And I've been growing them for many, decades now. So it's interesting. I think it's very, very interesting. If you live in another climate zone, have you ever found wasps in your figs? That's my question. Because I have purchased fig seeds from somebody before, so they must have lived in an area that does have those wasps. I'm interested if you have, just post a little comment below and let me know what zone you're in. If you've stayed this long in the video and you haven't clicked like and subscribe yet, please do so. It would really help out my channel, which is just a little tiny baby, cute little baby channel that it's only a year old. Yeah, it's not even 2 years old. So it's just a cute little baby channel, just needs a little bit more attention, some likes and subscriptions and all that stuff, and comments. Comments really blow channels up in a good way. So make sure that you hit like, subscribe, and comment. Do you grow figs? What zone are you growing them in? Do you have a special variety that you absolutely love? Yes, there is an Olympia fig that is not native, but has acclimatized to Washington State. I have those growing as well. But my brown turkey fig is just doing so much better. So brown turkey fig, I've grown the Chicago cold hardy fig. It dies onto the ground every year, grows back up again, and has never produced fruit. It's been in the ground for 10 years. So brown turkey fig, definitely recommend. I also recommend kale, even if you don't like it. It can be a landscaping plant. It's beautiful when it grows. And then if you want to feed the birds for free, they will eat the seeds. And if you don't, then you can gather the seeds or do mishmash. Do a little bit of both. Let the birds eat some of the seeds like I did, because I'll just neglect. The birds ate a lot of the seeds, and I was very happy about that. And I still have plenty, probably, I don't know, a third of a cup of seeds to plant. So I have way more than I need. And yeah, so remember, be good, be sweet, grow a garden if you want to eat. I'll see you next time. Pop a comment below if there's any content that you are interested in that I haven't covered. See you next time. And don't forget to check some of my older videos. I've got lots of content, over 300 videos that you might want to check out. Bye-bye for now.